Are you struggling to figure out your niche, who that ideal person is that you want to serve as a coach or online service provider? Then in today's episodes, I'm going to walk you through the 3 actions you can take right now to figure it out. Hey ladies, it's Amanda. Welcome to the Feel Amazing Naked podcast. This is a show where we dig deep, get honest, and talk about all the unsexy steps it takes to meet your goals. Whether you want to get fit, eat healthier, make more money, start a business, or any other results you desire in your life. Most of all, this podcast is for women who are ready to feel amazing naked on the outside and the inside. So ladies, time to take it off. Welcome to the podcast. So honored that you are here joining. And today we're going to talk about niche. I don't care how you say it. I love seeing some of the Instagram disputes over the pronunciation of this word, but it really boils down to the target audience that you are going to serve. Something I heard in the beginning of business was this classic framework or this classic saying, the riches are in the niches, which actually doesn't work with niche. And so that kind of lingered in my brain for a long time until I started actually coaching and kind of blew my perspective out of the water around what had been told to me and what guidance had come. And so today I just want to talk about this, have an open conversation to help you think more about the audience you want to serve and how to find that sweet spot of who those people actually are. So we're going to talk about 3 actions you can take to find your niche. The things that I want to say to cue up this conversation, a niche is not necessary to provide amazing results to your people. You do not have to have exactly that target audience in the beginning to do an amazing job coaching. And it's not necessary to have a niche to make, a lot of money. I stayed in the generalized health and life coaching, space a great deal of time. I started drilling down towards the end, and I'll talk about how that came to be, and have, been very profitable inside of my business. And so I want to squelch some of those myths today because there are plenty of examples of people that say in generalized life coaching and have tremendous success, or generalized health coaching, generalized business coaching. There are benefits to drilling down a little bit, and there are benefits to staying wide. But some of us are just maybe sitting on this edge of but I really just don't even know who I'm serving. And so to that, I'm going to help you a little bit today, take action around that. So a couple things to add to this discussion are your niche emerges. And so going out and hunting it as though it's like a date we're selecting or a spouse. I mean, I kind of think this is true about relationships and partnership, but your niche can be something that slowly emerges over time because you go out and serve. One of the things I suggest to all of my clients in the beginning is go serve the people. In fact, go serve a variety of people that you may not even think that are going to be your ideal target. And this could be free. You could be coaching for free in the beginning, while I don't recommend coaching for a long period of time for free. But I want you to go immerse yourself in situations and environments that give you diversity and adversity at the same time. Because what happens inevitably is that you hop off of a coaching session, you're like, dang, that felt so freaking good. Or you're like, I did not like those topics at all. And sometimes it's a person thing, a client thing, and oftentimes it's a content thing where you just don't find that you can provide as much value. It doesn't light you up as much on the inside. And those are the aha moments of wow, why did I get real excited about hopping off the call with that? Was that a person? Is it the person? Do they just execute? Was it the content? Right? And that helps us give guidance. I'll use myself as an example. That's what's brought me here 7 years later I used to kind of tell people when I was teaching, honestly, I could teach any topic. I don't think it's the content. I actually think it's the delivery and being able to be creative and put my students in these cool situations to create learning. And I would create any content. And honestly, I feel that same way about coaching, which is why I'm coaching coaches, because I love coaching. And it doesn't matter what the content is. I want to help coaches, and I can be of support in that environment because of the experience I've brought in. But that emerged because I've delivered, for the first 5 years, health, wellness, life coaching, kind of the general population for a lot of, specifically women. And through that, business coaching clients authentically showed up. And through that, I realized I just really love helping like my old self. I am my old ideal client, somebody that's in the beginnings of the coaching industry that just didn't get guidance, or I didn't get guidance in the beginning for a long time. I want to support those people. It's also how I figured out I only wanted to work with women. I actually coached men and women in the beginning. And it was over time where I realized I just have so much more to offer, so much more experience. I am a woman. I am a mom. It's why the majority of my clients are mothers or aspire to be mothers, because we authentically attract who we are. And that just continually kind of happens organically over time. To that, I also want to say, be patient with yourself as this process happens. There is no reason that you have to establish a niche in a certain period of time or a certain way. It will organically emerge if you go out and talk to all the people. Talk to your friends that could potentially be clients. Ask your friends, can I coach you? I just want to see, are there points of struggle that you're experiencing that I could offer my expertise, and just to see if it's a really great fit. And I think this just goes back to this whole notion of setting realistic expectations. I see so many people just be stalled out in complete paralysis around the niche. They create so much niche drama in their mind that they have to have it. It has to look perfect. And so instead they just sit by watching an ocean of opportunity pass them by because they're not actually going out and serving their clients or any clients. They're not even serving at all. So how do you know what you like and who you want to serve if you're not actually out there serving? Over the last, couple weeks, I've also been just seeing this trend that's driving me freaking batty. I've had probably 3 ads, that recurringly cross my path. One is, are you a coach that wants to hit 0 to 50K in your first 6 months of coaching? And I almost feel like I have that bro energy in it because that's how that ad feels. It's not realistic, right? It's a perception again that there's overnight success. Or it was like, do you want to work 40 hours but make it condensed into 8 hours? Yeah, that's not really how it works in the beginning. And so it creates this perception of that we get to have these really, really fast results and that everything should come really, really fast when it comes to business. And that is not it. In fact, I have a great friend who runs a multi-million-dollar business, and it's a product business. And still, he's been doing this for 26 years and has had his own personal evolution. And he said, 100%. I have an overnight success. It just took me 26 years to make it. And I love that quote because that gives us a realistic expectation about continuing to move the needle and approach business, as the long haul so that it takes the pressure away from yourself. If you took that unrealistic pressure away, we would not feel so frantic that the niche has to be established overnight and we have to know exactly who we are serving. So to again go back to the niche discussion, coming back to the niche discussion, that service will provide that opportunity to get really clear on who it is that you want to serve. Allow a niche to form rather than force a niche. I see women go out and force because they think they have to have all of the messaging perfect. They have to have all of the website perfect. They haven't actually delivered on any of it. So they have all of this stuff on the outside that looks like the perfect, sexy container for delivery. And then they start doing the work and they're like, oh crap, I don't like this work. These aren't the people that I want to serve. A client of mine recently sent me all this beautiful website development that she had. And she said, I actually don't feel like the person that I hired is creating the copy that I feel like is going to be the best copy because I'm the one in it. And now I have to take what I do and then convey it to them. It gets lost in translation, gets refiltered. And that is exactly why we are the best to go in there and get clear on who it is that we want to serve. We know our clients like nobody else will. And as you serve, then the clarity comes up of the people that A, you're excited about. There's a joy component. B, are at a point in their life and at a place financially that they can invest in the coaching services that you have to offer. Because trust me, I've seen this also happen where clients come to me and they want to serve a specific population, but the way they want to serve them is not energetically compatible when it comes to financials. And so then we have to really look at Like, does this make sense? I remember reading a book. I think it's Alex Hormozi's $10 Million Offer. He says, do you know who like the best place is to serve hot dogs to? And that is like a starving crowd after a football game or after the bar gets out at 2 a.m. They're freaking hungry and they want to eat, right? So it's about making sure that we are also being in front of an audience that has a desire and a craving to hear what we have to offer and to be coached, which I honestly think when it comes to coaching industry, all of these crowds exist and they are important. But going out and having conversations, setting up opportunities to correspond with people that maybe you normally wouldn't have had an opportunity to. And I think that there's an art in that. It can be simple as, hey, you're a mom and I know you have some of the same struggles. I had them back when I was a young mom. Are you open to just me picking your brain to hear more about what, you're struggling with to see if this is an area that I'd like to coach on? Then you can very informally set up that coaching session with someone and just be an open book. Yeah. So tell me more about your struggles. What's happening? You can offer some coaching. And the beautiful thing about these conversations that come up is organically it can transition into a coaching relationship. You're like, hey, I notice you have these struggles. Like, if you want more support after this, I am here for you because this is actually the coaching that I love to do. Or you end it and say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the clarity. I actually figured out that this is not the coaching that I really feel aligned to. So to circle it all back, if you are stuck and you are not sure who that ideal person is, I want you to ask yourself, why do I need to know the very specifics? A lot of us were like, drill down into your specific ideal client avatar. Honestly, I do that in part of my program, but I do it way later. I don't do it at the beginning anymore because I realized that just like myself, I didn't know that at the beginning. And so I was trying to force something that didn't exist. And I was like, oh, you want me to know what income bracket she is, what age she is, what things she reads? I don't even know because I'm not sure who that person is for me. And now we can say, I'm going to deliver first and allow organically the person that is my ideal excitement of a client to emerge with time, with patience, and from a place of service so that it feels very congruent. It will save you cash flow so you don't go out and build a website and invest in all the marketing strategies without really knowing who that person is. It's going to save you a whole bunch of heartache because you're going to see that you really find joy in coaching instead of trying to force something that is not. And lastly, you're going to save yourself a lot of inaction time because you're not sitting in paralysis thinking you have to have it all figured out. This for me is like when our children are coming from a place of high school to college and we have this expectation that to know how they want to spend the rest of their life at the age of 19. I didn't know that. I thought I know it. So when we talk about the statistics, like college kids change their major 7 to, 20 times. Yeah, of course they do. Because they go out and they experience life and they're like, no, this whole world is out here that I didn't know existed when I was in this high school container forced to take these classes. Yeah, go out, experience the world because I sure as heck don't want my kids to go get a degree or go to college thinking that they have to be forced into learning one way when it's really, or to pursuing one area of learning when there's really so much out there, right? And giving ourselves permission to evolve as humans as we discover some of these new touch points along our way that light up a fire inside us that we didn't even know existed. Like this is the journey of entrepreneurship, of self-evolution, and of understanding who it is in business that we ideally want to serve. So if you're experiencing niche paralysis, we got you. It's really about just going out and serve, and the rest will fall into place.
And if you love this episode, I would love for you to subscribe to the podcast on whatever favorite podcasting app you have. That way you will be sure to get the newest episodes delivered to you for free as soon as they come out.